Hi guys, I wanted to make a video today. I haven't made one in a while, but in some cases I have been stupid busy, and this is gonna keep happening. I'm inconsistent about where's the rest of my bangs? Oh, they're there. I'm inconsistent about posting, and that's just how it's gonna be because I have a lot of projects going on, and the fact of the matter that I do have, oh look, I haven't seen my forehead in forever. I don't know, I'm going to be busy, and that's just unfortunately how it goes. But I did want to come on here today. I need to take my jewelry off. To do a get ready with me, I guess, and talk about something that recently occurred in my life that I think is stigmatized as a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing. I think it's self-love in a way, and just knowing your worth in general. So, let me set the scene. I got an internship at the end of September to a PR company out of LA, and I've been doing this remotely. I didn't put chapstick on. I will in a sec. Hold on. And I've been doing it remotely, and I have experience in public relations because, you know, I do work with a writer who I was kind of thrown into the whole thing, but I found that I enjoyed doing public relations because it is super fun. It's super, I don't know, it's super strange due to the fact of the matter that when I started out, I had no idea what I was going to do or what I was doing at all. And so, in some ways, wow, this video is just not going the way I wanted it to. In some ways, I did have to teach myself how to better do my job, because when I first started, the only knowledge that I had, my hands are so sticky now because of that lotion. The only knowledge that I had was marketing, and I knew some about marketing due to school. And so when I had took on this position as a publicist, I had no idea what the hell I was doing, and I had to kind of teach myself. So when I got this internship in late September, I did have experience because I have been doing marketing and public relations for about a year, and I enjoy it very much so. But I enjoyed this internship kind of. When I first started the internship, the projects that they had me doing were not things that I would do as a full-time publicist, in the sense that doing Google searches for certain companies is good because you see who's talking about these companies and if they're popular, if they're not popular, or whatever. I was under the impression that this PR company, and I don't want to drop their name because I don't want people to like hate on them, because like they have a lot of hate already. Excuse my dogs. anyway, they already have like a ton of bad, negative shit against them due to the fact of the matter that they're just not ethical in how they do business or what they're doing. But basically, they hire interns to do shit work and they boss them around, and they're kind of mean to them. And they're not kind of mean, they are. And then they basically, when you're an intern, they make you feel like shit when you can't do the task that they asked you to do because it was either so fucking stupid and you were like, this is not cool, or it's stupid, like completely. And I'll get into that here in a sec. So anywho, everything was going well. I was putting up with their bullshit for a little while. I did not put enough foundation on my hand. Don't come for me for the way I do my makeup. I don't like a whole lot of makeup. Like this is I need to get more of it because it's running out. But it's an 8-in-1 beauty balm skin protector. It's got SPF 30 in it. It's kind of like a lotion, and I use it as foundation because it matches my skin. So don't come for me for the way that I do my makeup. I'm not like the rest of the beauty bloggers. I'm like an absolute mess, actually. So anyway, I was putting up with their bullshit for a good while, and honestly, it was getting to where within the last couple of weeks, because I only work 2 days a week, which is like Tuesday and Thursday, it was just getting to where it was taking up time out of my schedule to do work with my client, Andrew Winchester, my writing client, because I'm a literary publicist as of right now. And it was taking time out of our schedule. He would do business meetings and I would have to take a lunch on this PR stuff, and I would be like, okay, I'm gonna go take a lunch, and I really wouldn't take a lunch. I was really just going and doing business meetings with Andrew Winchester. Thank God he lives locally, but or I'd have to do that remotely too, but it was just starting to take out of time for him, and I didn't want him to feel like I'm doing this PR fashion internship and it's taking from him, and I didn't want him to feel like he was being neglected, because he is my only client, and you know, if I lose him, I don't have any clients, which is horrible. But I was like, I gotta figure this out. And anyway, on Tuesday, this past Tuesday, because I'm recording this on Friday the 12th, I think, I had to do this really long, it was like 530, I think it was like 550 maybe, people on this list. These are major brands, not just in the fashion world, but also in like skincare and hold on, basically like in skincare stuff, in clothing, in shoe brands, like, and these are not no-name people like, oh well, this person is trying to get their business off the ground and they need someone to help them market for them because they don't know how to do it. That's what I do. People contact me and they're like, hey, can you help me do this? I do a lot of that stuff for my voice actor. There's a lot of stuff he won't let me do, but then there's a lot of stuff that I do get to help him with, and I am happy to help him anytime he needs help. I don't charge anybody for anything that I'm doing, because in all reality, I'm not like a I don't want to say I'm not a full-time publicist, because I totally am, but in all reality, I don't want to say, like, oh yeah, I'm going to help you, give me $300. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. And in some ways I do work on commission by choice, because I'm not employed by an actual PR agency or by an agency that has publicists. You know, I'm not, what's her name? I fucking love her. She's a manager. She's not a publicist. Danny Garcia. I love her so much, but I'm not her. So in some ways, I'm not gonna charge people, even if I do work on commission, which a lot of people in agencies do work on commission. I'm still not gonna charge the people that I'm doing, because I'm not like mainstream right now. I'm just kind of learning everything as I go, and so, but I'm successful in what I do. Back to what I was saying. I'm sorry, I keep getting like way off track. Anywho, so there's a list of like 550 people that this agency is not in any relation to, due to the fact that there are big names on there like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, you get the gist. There was a lot of clientele on that list that probably already does their own marketing. I guarantee you companies like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, they all have some sort of publicist, or either like internally within their company, or they do it through somebody else. But 9 times out of 10, they're not going to hire a small PR company out of LA. So that's just the tea. Because those people are already successful. They don't need you, who you basically don't know what you're doing. And in some ways, these people didn't know what they're doing, because a lot of the stuff that I do, I'm like, I would never do that, because that seems ridiculous. So for the instance that I'm talking about is the exact same thing. So anyway, this girl that I was working with, she wanted me to do basically spam email them, which and everybody knows this. Every person that works in PR, every person that doesn't work in PR knows, if you get a spam email, you delete that shit, or it goes to a spam email. You don't like actually, my chapstick is like driving me nuts. You don't actually like read those emails. And the way that she was doing it is like when you pull up on their page and it says contact us, it's mainly for customer service, for people that have bought their product and have something to say, you know, whether it be positive or negative or whatever. You don't do business deals that way. And if you're gonna do a business deal with said company, you would find a way to contact them and have a sit down face-to-face business meeting and try to like build a business relationship, so that way you can in the future do business with this person. And that is just how you do business in general. Take it from somebody who has a marketing degree. I know, I took a lot of classes on that, but it's just kind of, it's just not something that you do over a spam email. And I was like, I'm not sending out 550 emails to huge name companies that already have their own marketing. I can't turn on my Instagram, any social media, Facebook, or YouTube, like I said, like any social media, without some kind of ad like that on there. And now that I'm talking about it, it's probably going to be on all of those. So, because they market, that's how they market. That's how they do advertisements. it would be like your no name and stuff, and then you want to call up someone and they're like, I don't take you seriously. And I learned that, for instance, I learned that kind of the hard way when I started to do marketing and stuff for Andrew Winchester and being his publicist, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I needed to get a hold of, I don't want to talk about projects that I'm doing right now because they're still under wraps. We're still working on those. But anyway, I needed to get a hold of people to get his name out there. And one of the ways that I did that was not through spam emails. I couldn't do it through spam emails. I can't bring myself to do that because it's so unprofessional. So I explained this to the girl that I was working with. I was like, hey, I really don't feel like this is a good way to do business. It's kind of unprofessional. It's kind of shitty in so many ways because I feel like this is the worst way to market. When I told her this, she totally disregarded what I said. She basically said that no, it's not like her favorite way of doing marketing, but in some ways it does prove success. It doesn't. Everybody fucking knows that. If I get a spam call, I'm not going to answer it. Hello. So, I told her that. She disregarded what I said. I was just frustrated and I was just angry because I am an aspiring publicist. I do want to do my job correctly, and I feel like I am because, like I said, there are huge projects that I'm working on with Andrew Winchester, and I'm not bragging in any way, but I am saying, like, I came from nothing. When I started doing this around October of last year, I started from nothing, and I had to use what knowledge of marketing that I had at the time before I had got my degree, and I had to apply that knowledge to starting from nothing. And by starting from nothing, I created something, and I'm proud of what I've created. I can't tell y'all though, but it's pretty fucking awesome. But in the same way, I felt very used in some ways, and I felt like this company was giving me, don't come for me for using my fingers. I did wash my hands before I came in here, don't worry. I did feel like I was being disregarded and not valued as an employee, even as an intern, for the hard work that I was doing. The week before, I created like a spreadsheet of an article for holiday shopping for a fucking wedding company. I'm sorry, no one's buying wedding stuff unless you're having a wedding. But they were wanting you to do it like, oh, get your girlfriend $400 pair of fucking shoes. If I was made of money, I wouldn't do that. I feel like a horrible way of spending money. I'm so not materialistic though. I'm like one of those people that I'm like, oh my god, you got me on clearance succulent. Like, I love this. So I really do. Those are like one of my favorite gifts. Or like if you handcraft something, you're like, oh my god, you spent $2 on construction paper and some tape, and I love this. Because if it's your significant other and you like that person, you're gonna fucking enjoy it anyway, so it doesn't really matter what it is. Anywho, so talked to my mom, and I was like, this is what's going on and stuff, and she was like, so what are you gonna do? I was like, I don't know. So I was supposed to go to work yesterday, because yesterday was Thursday, and I told my mom I was not gonna go do that, and instead I was not gonna go into work. I was not gonna clock in. And I told my mom, I was like, I'm gonna go get food for October and some beer because we had to watch Florida Shore last night. And so I did. And then on my way home, she finally messaged me and said I needed to check in, and I was like, yeah, whatever. So I left her on red. I did some stuff for my voice actor for, I needed help on some stuff. I won't go into that. And then I did this wrong. Anyway, and then she contacted me again and says, oh, hey, well, is everything okay? Because I haven't heard from you. No shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I just don't want to do this internship anymore. And she was like, okay, well, good luck in your journey. And like I had wrote out, I was like, I just don't want to do this internship anymore due to the fact of the matter that I sought out experience. Because like when I applied for this job, I wanted experience because I want to be good at my craft, you know? Like, I am so willing to learn anything anybody wants to teach me because I just want to be good at stuff. And I have this, like, thought process of just, I want to learn. I want to learn it all. Like, I don't give a fuck about cars. Like, I really don't. We all have to drive them, but whatever. And my dad will be like, oh, well, let me just tell you about this car. And I'm like, yes, tell me about this car. Because I do. I want to learn everything. And so I explained that to her, and she was like, yeah, well, good luck on your journey. We don't care. And I talked to my mom about it this morning, and I said, I think a part of quitting a job is everybody goes, oh, they quit. That's so stupid. What a loser. You quit. You're a loser. But here's the kicker. When you quit a job because you're not valued as an employee. They talk about this all the time in school. You're not valued as an employee. When your employees aren't feeling valued, they tend to quit. When they quit, it looks bad on the company due to the fact of the matter that you promised them that you were going to take care of their needs and give them a good, that brush sucks, I need a better brush. You were going to give them a good work-life balance, a good overall experience in their workplace, because that's usually what they tell you when they, you know, help you with jobs. And so like, oh, you know, all this other stuff. Anyway, but the thing of it is that your job doesn't need to run your life, which I'm learning because I'm really bad about letting my job just kind of take over my fucking life. And I don't have that much to do in my job, but yet I'm still like letting the motherfucker just run my entire existence. And I think quitting your job is a form of self-care and self-love, and you demand self-respect, and your job is treating you like shit due to the fact of the matter that you're just a number to them. And individuals have lives, and their lives may not be the same as everybody else's. You know, they may have a different life, just like I live a different life than my clients or, you know, my voice actor or whatever. But I'm not gonna call up my voice actor today and be like, you need to drop everything that you're doing and do something for me just because I pay him for what he does. No, that's not how it works. He has his own life. He has his own issues and worries and needs and all of this other stuff. And if I do that, that's fucking ridiculous to expect someone to just fuck off what I was doing. You know what I mean? And so for me, in the same instance, quitting a job is a form of self-care. And I know this for a fact because my mother, she's in between jobs due to the fact of the matter that she's soul searching. She has her master's degree and she's very, very fucking good at what she does. And she gives it 110%. But the companies that she has been working for don't give her the same respect that she gives them. And it's kind of like being in a bad relationship. When you're in a bad relationship, that person will take and take and take and take, and you will give it all. They're like blood-sucking mosquitoes. All mosquitoes suck blood. But anyway, you know what I mean. They're just sucking the life out of you. And you have to, as a person with self-respect, go, I deserve better than this. And you leave them. And they will always wonder why you left them. Well, that person left you because you basically just took advantage of them. And it's the same with a job. Any relationship, whether it be romantic, platonic, or professional, needs to be with that same set of respect. You know, if I'm going to respect you, I hope that you can do the same for me. Due to the fact of the matter that we're all people and we all deserve that respect, and everybody is of value. There's not one person that's less valued than the other, because we're people. And I think a lot of times people don't understand, especially huge corporations or whatever, they don't understand that their employees are what run the damn company. If you didn't have as many employees as you do today, you would be nothing. And there's companies that, they do so fucking well. They do so well. Companies like, I live in Texas, so HEB, for instance. Those motherfuckers are like, it's a joke about when you live in Texas, your culture of being in Texas is HEB. But HEB wouldn't be HEB if they didn't have their employees that they care for. And they give them all of these, I want to say amenities. I guess it is, kind of, in a way. They give them all of these benefits. You know, your 401k, you have a flexible work-life balance due to the fact that some people that work at HEB are in college. You know, they can't work all of the time because they have classes or whatever. And HEB not only cares about its employees, but it cares about the people in the communities, as well as its employees and its business overall. Because what the hell did I do with my eyeliner? Oh, it's over here. Because HEB's giving you charities, and they're a huge part of like helping with disaster relief when we have these huge fucking hurricanes. Because like, unfortunately, Houston always gets flooded. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people, like, maybe it's just a southern thing, there's a lot of people that just go and travel and help people, like in Florida or Louisiana, that, they had a bad hurricane. Okay, well, let me just hop on, this, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but there's a lot of ways that people help other people. And I think that business culture has lost that sense of care for its employees and the people that fund their companies. And like they're consumers as well. And like I get that one person talking about me, for instance, talking about this is like an issue. It is an issue. I'm not gonna make a difference. But when the time comes and I have my own company, because I do want to do that in the future, I'm gonna care for my employees. And that's just something that I can't live with the fact of the matter that people, it's like they forgot where they came from, because like you had to work your fucking ass off to get the position that you have today, unless like mom and dad just handed you your life. And I don't think I can ever forget where I came from, due to the fact of the matter that I've had a really shitty life and I don't hate the fact of the matter that I had a shitty life. I just use that shitty life as an example for what I don't want my future generations to have to go through. So I'm going to work really fucking hard to prevent that for them. But it's also made me a strong individual, because you grow from trauma, unfortunately. And so when you are in trauma, you tend to grow up quicker. But you have more respect for your life. And I think that's why a lot of people are like, we need to make our children work hard for what they have. Because you don't want to just give them the world, unfortunately. Because then they learn that life is easy and you can just take whatever you want, and that is not the case at all. And I worked really hard in my life, and I've been through a ton of hardship, but I don't regret any single part of that, due to the fact of the matter that I'm a good person and I love my life. And I wouldn't be that way if I hadn't went through the shit that I went through. But I think we need to erase the stigma of quitting your job. Because sometimes it is a form of self-care, and self-care it's hard work sometimes, because self-care isn't just putting a face mask on and watching crime documentaries. Although that is fun, that's not all that self-care is. Sometimes self-care is, I have a shitty boyfriend and I need to break up with him because he's verbally abusive to me. Self-care is quitting a job that pays really fucking well in the shitty economy we have, because you're being mistreated and you're not getting the respect that you demand. And you know better because you have self-worth, and that's self-care. And unfortunately, it's the cold hard truth of self-care in some ways. I definitely didn't want to be an asshole to some of the people that I had to cut out of my life in order to better my life. Because in all reality, we do those things because we do need to improve our lives. This is something that me and my dad were talking about recently. When you need to improve your life, it's kind of like spring cleaning. When you spring clean, you're cleaning up all the crap from the winter. I'm gonna clean up all the crap from the winter. Those are, I guarantee you, they're not even. They're kind of even, which is kind of, it's not a thing. But I have bangs, so that covers it, so I don't have to deal with that. Anyway, when you spring clean, you're cleaning up all the crap from the winter. And my mom used to make us do this thing. So around, I think it was like the end of October, maybe mid-November, my mom would make us get rid of some of our old toys that were like broken, or they were like really old. And because I used to have Barbies that would be like missing patches of hair, and that Barbie was like 10 years old. And anyway, we would either give some of our toys away, the ones that were in good shape, to some of our friends who didn't have like that kind of stuff. I loved doing that. That was always like my favorite thing, giving my Barbies to some of my friends who didn't have like a whole lot of Barbies. Not because they were like, well, I mean, we were all poor. We were all poor little girls. My parents just always tried to like give us the best life that they could for middle-class interracial couple in a shitty small town in East Texas. But she would make us do this because Christmas was coming up, and she knew that her and my dad were going to go all out for Christmas, which they always have. Even now that I'm in my 20s, and none of us expect that or ask for it, but they still do. And she would do that, you know, get rid of all your old stuff. Not all of it, but the stuff that you don't need. The stuff that you need to make room for more better things, really. Things that are more appropriate in your life than what you had before. So you throw out all your broken toys. You get rid of the stuff that you don't want, you don't necessarily need. And so when Christmas comes, you have room for more Barbies. That this one doesn't have part of her eye rubbed off and she's missing a leg. This Barbie is brand fucking new. She came with the beautiful box that Mom wrapped her in. And I think that was a metaphor, because when you want to better your life, this is what me and my dad talk about. When you want to better your life, you have to get rid of things. And when I moved out of East Texas, I was heading to Rockport. I was about to get real deep, just so y'all know. We were moving to Rockport. I had to say goodbye to my grandparents. My grandparents are still alive, but they were terribly, terribly abusive people that just didn't care about anyone but themselves. My dad had a horrible childhood due to the fact of the matter that my grandma, his mom, and his stepdad were horrible people. And it's still to this day, my dad has a lot of animosity towards them, and he's working on it, you know, just as the rest of my family is. But we had to leave them, and granted, I've lived in the house that we had to move from for most of my life. We lived in that house for 16 years. This time period, I was probably around, I had just turned, I think, I was about to turn 20. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I grew up in that house, and I lived in that house my entire life. And it was hard for me to leave that environment. But we all knew, me and my mom and my dad and my two sisters and our dogs, we knew we had to have a fresh start and a better life. And it was pressed upon us that we needed a better life, because honestly, we were all getting our degrees, and we knew that if we stayed there, our degrees would have been null and void. You can't get a job somewhere in a small town with a bachelor's degree. I mean, you can, but like you're still going to be working at the bank, or you're still going to be working at, you know, the gas station or whatever. You're still going to be a pastor's wife or whatever. Don't worry, I'm not in church anymore, thank God. But those are all jobs that people that don't have degrees can get without degrees. And we knew we had better lives. So I had to cut my grandparents out of my life. Our entire family did. Because they were vindictive and they were horrible people. And they still are. God, they are miserable. When I graduated, they didn't even call. They didn't call when my dad graduated. Or my mom with her 2 degrees. Like, it's horrible. Just because they were so mad because we left. We didn't want to stay and be miserable with them. Because you can't stay somewhere where you're miserable. You're never going to move on with your life. You're never going to go anywhere. You're never going to do anything. See the places you want to see. Grow. And so when we moved to Rockport, we needed to grow. And my grandparents weren't having that shit. And they thought it was funny. They thought God was laughing in our faces when Hurricane Harvey hit. Hurricane Harvey didn't do anything but shove us in a different direction because, well, we learned to grow. And so when you learn to grow, bad shit happens. You move on with your life and you go, okay, where to next? When you become a stronger person because of trauma, unfortunately. It kind of forces you to grow up. The people that don't want you to leave are usually the ones that cause you trauma. But this got way deeper than I wanted it to go. But I think that's, I can't use that brush, it's holding up my camera. I think that's a part of growing for the better. You know, you deserve better. And you demand to have better because you love yourself. You're like, yeah, I'm not gonna put myself through that anymore. And people that are just miserable assholes usually don't like that you grow a set of balls and stick up for yourself. And that's on all reality, that's kind of what I'm talking about. And I got like way deeper into this than I wanted to, due to the fact of the matter that I've been through a lot of shit and I've traveled most of America searching for, whoops, I hit that Nerf gun, searching for a life that's best for not just me, but my family and, you know, our dogs and now our lizards and our fish and our crabs and yeah, there's a whole thing. But but I think that's an extremely important part in life, is that you need to learn to grow, but you need to do it because you know you deserve the best, and if people aren't giving you the best, it's time to move on. And I've done that with a lot of people in my life, and it's gotten to the point now where it still hurts, but you're over being mistreated. And I hope this made sense, because I don't know if it did or not, but just, if you're gonna take anything from this video, please take some knowledge from a woman who had to go through a lot. And I'm only 24. So I went through a lot of trauma in my life. But if you're going to take anything from this, please take that you don't have to deal with stressful situations in your life, and you don't have to do those alone. You need to get out of that situation to better your life, and when your life is better, then you need to heal from the situation. And I don't know what the situation may be. It may be one of those things that you do have an abusive significant other, whether it be your spouse or whatever, or your family, like me. You have an abusive grandparents problem, or you have abusive parents, like my dad, or you have abusive friends, and you need to get out of that situation, because I promise you are so much more important than that person is making you feel like you're not. And if you're in a job where your boss is being an asshole, or your coworkers or whatever, babe, no one needs to deal with that. So take it from me, quitting your job is not the end of the world. There are more job searches out there. I'm still trying to find them, but the important part is that I'm happy, and I know that I'm capable of being the best that I can be. And if people are making me feel like I'm not capable of that, then it's time for me to move on. And that's the whole point of this video, is that self-care is not easy. Self-care is not, I'm gonna do a face mask and, you know, watch The Witcher, because that's what I do. Sometimes self-care is hard because there are people that you love that are physically hurting you, and you don't deserve to cry anymore, and you don't deserve to go through that behavior. It's time to care about you. It's not time to care about other people and their bullshit and their crap that they're trying to shove down your throat and make you feel like you're not important. Because you are important. Because I don't think there's one person on the face of the planet that isn't an important person. But I think you choose the life that you're given. And if you continue to accept people treating you shitty, that's all you're gonna get out of life. And I just don't want to see people like that. I see people like this all the time that have to deal with shitty relationships and shitty lives, and they don't know what to do. And for the love of God, I love all of y'all. Please love yourselves. Because if someone else can love you, you can love you. But also the other way around. You should love yourself and let people know that you love yourself. And there's a lot of people that'll love you for that. It's like, damn, you know, you've got balls of steel. Damn right, I know my worth. And you should. Because everybody deserves to have happiness. Everybody deserves to be the best that they can be in their lives. And I think that that's something that more people need to be talking about. And I think I'm going to start making more videos like this, due to the fact of the matter that I have a lot to say about self-care, because I'm still learning it. I know I'm preaching to everybody, but here's the kicker. I am preaching. Sorry, this is my desk. This is my vanity. Hold on. Let me just show y'all. This is my vanity. It's a mouse in there. Anyway. I know I'm preaching. I totally am. But I'm also learning about my own self-care, and I'm trying to do work-life balance, and I need to, my mom and I talk about it a lot, and I'm just trying to work on it because I'm not perfect. No one is, but I love myself to not like throw myself into work every day. And when you work remotely, it's really hard to turn work brain off, because I will sit and do work shit 7 days a week, and I'll have like one day off. I'll give myself like one day and I'll clean the house, or I'll like, I don't know, mow the yard, or like I'm still not like really taking time to myself. And that's something that I think I need to work on, because again, I'm not perfect, but oh my God, none of us are. But it's a lot that we just need to figure out our situations and embrace what's going on in our life and make changes if changes are needed. Like, my life is good, but I can make changes if I need. Or I guess if it means I need to better my life. If it means I need to better my life, then hey, I'm here for it, because I've done a lot in my life that I know, you know, if change needs to come, it's gonna come. I don't care. Let's do this together. So yeah, let's end our sermon with a prayer. I'm just kidding.